call that you're the shooter?
Yes.
A 911 call was made in Orlando, Florida on July 23rd, 2020.
It's just so you just heard it.
No, ma'am, just hearing it.
Okay. How many did you hear?
Oh, man, it's about 8 or 10, if not more. Like this AK-47, it's not a 22, I can assure you.
When the police got to the place, they discovered the body of a 41-year-old man named Eloy Lebron in his white Toyota. Video cameras and people who saw what happened would help the police find two young women, both 19 years old, named Marqia Hamilton and Jaria Shield. A little while later, more videos would reveal that both women got out of the car at their apartment building where they lived. The police started their investigation by talking to a family member who spent a lot of time with the two suspects. They are hoping that Marqia Angelia might have shared some information with her.
As you sit here today, swearing to tell the truth so you don't get in trouble, you're saying you do not know where they were.
No.
Or whose house they were at, but you're telling me the car was not at home at 11 o'clock when you left. And it was not at Sonny's when you got there. Is that true?
Yeah, it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. And the girls were not at Sonny's.
Here, the detective is trying to establish an alibi for the suspects by questioning the family members' knowledge of their whereabouts during the time of the crime. The detective is also seeking to gather any potential information that might help in the investigation.
Do you understand how serious this is now? Do you understand the consequences for lying to the police in a homicide investigation is a third-degree felony?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you understand how difficult it is to get into medical school with a third-degree felony?
Tied to murder.
It's very difficult. Medical schools don't look too kindly upon that. You were with these girls all day and all night. What happened?
The detective is attempting to ensure that the family member comprehends the gravity of the situation, the legal consequences, and the potential impact on future opportunities. The detective is also seeking any information that might be pertinent to the investigation.
You have a tell when you're not telling the truth, and your tell is that you laugh or you smile because you're uncomfortable.
Actually.
Well, I can tell you that the person who was murdered's family's not laughing and smiling today.
Oh, no.
The girls had to have told you what happened. If you were at work, we should be able to verify that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The girls were not there at work. The car was not there. We're going to be able to verify that as well, okay? I honestly don't think that you are out, shooting at people. It doesn't seem like it's in your nature. Okay? You're a good kid. But I do think you're holding back. I expect you to tell me what you learned about a homicide yesterday involving a car that you were in today. This is someone's life.
Oh.
And you are wanting me to believe that you're going to spend your entire professional existence saving lives. It starts today.
The detective is aiming to extract accurate information from the family member, establish her involvement or knowledge of the incident, and impress upon her the seriousness of the situation and the importance of honesty.
It starts with the life that you are aware of that was snuffed out short yesterday. That's the life that it starts with. If you're going to tell me you're going to save lives, it starts with his.
The police interviewed a witness who claimed that he saw the shooting. The witness was able to describe what happened. However, he claimed that both the driver and passenger fired their weapons, and he believed that they were both men.
Okay.
The way he was
shooting.
Yeah.
What was the other guy doing?
The driver.
The driver.
He was shooting.
Was he shooting, is he driving like this? You're using his right hand.
Yes, I'm sorry. He was shooting, yeah.
So he's shooting across his body like this.
Like that, right.
Windows were down?
Window was like right here.
Right here.
Right there. Like
halfway?
Right there. Right halfway, so he can see.
How dark was the tent, would you think? Was there even any tent?
Yeah.
Because the witness said the shooters were both male, it led detectives to believe that Marqia and Jaria might have just been passengers in the car when the incident took place. They believed that the suspects might be trying to protect the men involved with this information. They decide to bring both women in for interrogation. They begin by interviewing Marqia first.
Did Detective Overfield explain to you why you're here?
No.
He did not?
No.
Okay. And this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. It's just a lack of communication, okay?
Mm-hmm. He could have came to my mom and said, your daughter got a warrant for her arrest.
Be done with it.
And it could have been done with it.
Turn it in.
Turn it in just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he gonna go lie to my mom, tell me to pick up my phone. When I already knew I probably had a warrant for my arrest because y'all not giving anybody no their phones back. And I could care less about the phone. I bought me a new phone.
One of the main reasons suspects talk to police is because they want to know what the police know, so they can create a story to explain the evidence. Marqia wants to know what evidence they have, and the detective needs to convince her that the evidence is strong without giving away any details. If the detective tells her something that she knows is not true, then Marqia will know they are lying and they don't have enough evidence to charge anyone.
But the information that we have, the shots came from your car.
Do you have evidence?
Yes.
What evidence?
Okay. And this is what's gonna screw you over in the long run. Okay? And this is what I'm trying to avoid happening to you. The evidence is super strong against the occupants of that vehicle. But 2 people shot from that car. The car that you own, the car that we recovered. 2 people shot from that car. Yes, we can prove that. And I'm not bullshitting you, or you would not be sitting here.
How can you prove it?
You will see through testimony and evidence that that came from that car.
Okay.
Okay?
Marqia's story is that they were, in fact, in the area at the time the incident took place. She claims that she was with Jaria when they heard the shots and saw the victim in his vehicle. After they saw him, they got scared and went to doing some laundry.
And said, I know you didn't.
Of course, you said I didn't.
And I looked at Jaria and I said, I know you didn't. Because girls don't do that shit. Girls don't have beef like that.
Mm-mm.
If you do, you're going to go to scrapping.
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to get on social media and sell each other out.
The detectives spent the next hour going through all the evidence with Marqia, hoping that she will tell them who the shooter is. As Marqia shares her side of the story, the detective begins to think that maybe the shooter is sitting right in front of her. When Marqia is told she might be a possible suspect, her calm demeanor changes and she begins to rock back and forth. She no longer appears confident, and she begins to stumble over her own words. Marqia claims that if she put her arm out the window to fire the gun, the witnesses would have seen her tattoo and been able to identify her. Marqia just made a huge mistake, and the detective is about to pick up on it. Either way, girl, if I shot my hand this way, or through the pattern something that's going to identify, and I cannot deny these tattoos. For 2 months, the detective tried to piece together the puzzle, but there was always one piece missing. Now that she is on the right track, all the pieces are coming together, and it all finally makes sense. Not only did Marqia imply that she had that tattoo on her forearm before the incident took place, she also showed detectives how she would have shot out of the vehicle. What's interesting is that her description matches what the witness told detectives.
Passenger, it's like he goes like that, and he was shooting like that.
Would you say his head's above the hood?
A little.
A little, but he's more like...
Right.
Okay.
Right.
People make mistakes. They happen all the time. Okay, this guy in this truck getting shot, I don't think either one of you intended to hit him.
Alright, y'all want me to admit to something I did not do?
Never want you to admit to anything you didn't do. But here's the thing: you have to understand, from our standpoint, we have all this evidence, witnesses, GPS locations, video, all of these things.
Do you guys have a gun?
Showing that it did come out of that car.
Did you guys have a gun?
I don't know.
99% of the time when we convict people of murder, we don't have the gun.
Okay, are we done then? Because if it was, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
The detectives are convinced that the 2 women are the shooters, so now it's time to interview Jaria and see what she has to say. The detectives enter the room and spend the next hour listening to Jaria tell her version of the story. Her story matches Marqia, and she even explains that one day she wants to be a sniper in the military, so she believes in doing the right thing and being honest.
Got the ball to shoot at nobody.
I thought you wanted to be a sniper.
Not shooting at somebody for what reason?
Why is it that folks are telling us that the gunshots came from your car? That all of the gunshots, and believe me, there was more than 5 to 7, came from your vehicle.
Never owned a gun, never touched a gun.
We work for the people who could no longer speak.
Who's
Okay?
silent?
And I'm yawning because we have not slept since yesterday. We've been up for well over 24 hours. We are exhausted. The reason you are here is because the people we spoke to yesterday told us the gunshots came from your car.
I'm telling you, I ain't.
And that the front seat passenger and the driver are the shooters. And that's you girls.
One shooting the car.
That's what they told us. Oh, everybody out there.
I never owned a gun, never touched a gun.
I think we've been in here with you girls, but I think they've already executed a search warrant on her house.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Marqia and Angelia got arrested because they were accused of causing someone's death with a gun. They're out on bail, which means they're temporarily free until their trial. The prosecutor think the person who died was just passing by and got hit by the gunfire. Now we have to wait and see what happens next in their case.